Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we are breaking down the absolute behemoth that is the 2026 AI supercycle, and we're going to do it by looking at 4 highly digestible pillars. Look, if you've been paying even a little bit of attention to the tech landscape lately, you know we've crossed a massive threshold. That conversational AI that totally defined the last couple of years, well, it's been entirely overshadowed by something just so much more powerful.
So let's dive right into this. How did the AI landscape shift so rapidly from these basic back-and-forth chatbots to systems that are actually capable of long-horizon reasoning? I mean, the big question on everyone's mind is, what actually changed in 2026 to transition AI from just being generative to being fully autonomous? The short answer? It's a convergence. We're seeing advanced software orchestration completely collide with revolutionary new hardware alongside a fundamental shift in how we manage our data and infrastructure.
Here is our roadmap for today. We'll be hitting 1. The rise of autonomous agents, 2. Edge AI and neuromorphic chips, 3. Data quality and agent harnesses, and 4. Decentralized AI infrastructure. And then, of course, we'll wrap it all up with a quick summary.
All right, let's jump straight into pillar number 1, the rise of autonomous agents, or the transition from talkers to doers. Think back to the chatbots of 2024 for a second. They were episodic, generative talkers, right? You gave them a prompt, they gave you a reply, and boom, the interaction was over. Fast forward to the AI agents of 2026, and it's a completely different ballgame. These are long-horizon autonomous doers. They aren't just spitting out text, they're executing multi-step workflows, retrieving data, interacting with your software tools, and actually reaching business outcomes with barely any human handholding. In fact, enterprise transition to these multi-agent systems exploded. It grew by a staggering 327% in less than 4 months. That is literally unheard of.
And the sheer impact this is having in the enterprise is just massive. Get a load of this number, over 80%. That is the percentage of enterprise databases being built or managed by AI agents right now in 2026. With agents driving these huge database transformations, AI is now deeply, intimately embedded in critical enterprise workflows. We're talking about systems that can autonomously pull API data, run complex Python valuation models, and just execute end-to-end tasks without blinking.
Let's look at the hard data proving this shift to autonomy. According to Metro Research, the time horizon for tasks an agent can complete entirely on its own is doubling every 196 days. Think about that. Back in early 2025, an agent could reliably work independently for maybe 15 minutes before it broke down or needed a human to step in. By early 2026, that duration leaped to around 5 solid hours. This proves these systems are truly autonomous now. They can handle complex, day-long tasks without us having to constantly hold the steering wheel.
Moving right along to our second pillar, Edge AI and neuromorphic chips. This is all about bringing biological-grade intelligence directly to the edge. To really grasp Edge AI today, you have to understand this core concept, neuromorphic computing. Basically, these are brain-inspired processors. They actually mimic the neural structure and sparse communication of the human brain to process sensory data. Now, traditional AI relies on this brute force approach, right? Shoving massive amounts of data back and forth to centralized cloud servers. Neuromorphic chips completely bypass that energy bottleneck because they move the compute right to where the data actually lives, on the device itself.
Let's put this power difference into perspective. Traditional edge GPUs usually run at a power draw of anywhere from 10 to 60 watts. In stark contrast, Intel's Low-High 3 chip operates at a peak load of just 1.2 watts. And then you have IBM's North Pole architecture, which just straight up eliminates the von Neumann bottleneck entirely by co-locating memory and compute. We are literally looking at up to 1,000x efficiency gain over traditional GPUs for sensory processing. This right here is what makes true physical AI possible, without needing to be permanently tethered to a giant battery or a cloud server.
So what does that 1,000x efficiency gain actually look like in the real world? Well, it looks like 72 hours. That is the continuous operation time for the Animal D Neuro quadruped robot running on the Low-High 3 chip on a single charge. It's a 9-fold improvement in battery life for mobile robots. And in the automotive sector, this zero-latency perception means autonomous vehicles can process visual data instantly, right there on the edge, without sitting around waiting for the cloud to think about it.
Okay, let's pivot to our third pillar, data quality and agent harnesses. Because honestly, the harness matters way more than the underlying model.
So, what exactly is a harness? You can think of it as a cybernetic system wrapped securely around the AI model. It works in 4 steps. First, it ingests data. Then it retrieves and augments context. Next, it runs a self-verification loop. And finally, it generates an action. As base models from different companies kind of converge and level out in their general intelligence, this orchestration layer, the harness, has absolutely become the true competitive moat for businesses. It's the framework that takes a brittle, one-shot prompt and turns it into a highly resilient, autonomous system.
But here's the catch. A harness is only as good as the food you give it. This quote really drives home why 2026 is the year of the harness. McKinsey found that 8 in 10 companies cite data limitations as their primary roadblock to scaling agentic AI. If you feed an agent stale, uncertified, or hallucinated data, that agent is going to confidently go out and execute the exact wrong actions. You risk what the industry calls memory poisoning. Actually, it's exactly what it sounds like. Bad data corrupts the agent's context and derails the entire workflow from the inside out.
If we just stick our heads in the sand and ignore data quality, things go south fast. We open ourselves up to severe harness failure modes, cascading reasoning errors, that memory poisoning we just talked about, irrelevant retrieval, and model drift in production. To combat this, smart enterprises are leaning heavily into specialized tools. They're using platforms like Confident AI for rigorous evaluation and Atlan for tight data governance. These tools systematically check outputs and ensure data lineage, making sure quality assurance isn't just an annoying engineering bottleneck, but a baked-in part of the agent's workflow.
And that brings us to our 4th and final pillar, decentralized AI infrastructure, and the massive financial impact of the Agentic Web.
Look at what happened during the market drops in Q1 of 2026. Purely speculative consumer tokens tanked by 30%, but AI tokens, they only dropped by 14%. We are officially past the era of pure hype. Decentralized AI now provides fundamental, undeniable utility, things like global compute and private inference. And because of that real-world utility, it has a significantly stronger price floor even when the broader economy takes a hit. This right here represents the shift into the execution era. Our DePIN, or Decentralized Physical Infrastructure Network, utility leaders include projects like Render, which provides decentralized hardware and compute. We've got BitTensor leading the charge in decentralized model validation and intelligence routing, and Near Protocol, which is ensuring private inference for user-owned AI. These aren't just science experiments anymore. These protocols are generating real-world hard revenue by providing the critical decentralized compute and intelligence that physically powers the Agentic Web.
All right, let's bring it all together for our summary and next steps.
To quickly recap this massive 2026 AI supercycle we've been walking through. First, we have completely moved from talkers to doers, with autonomous agents now executing complex, long-horizon work. Second, neuromorphic chips like the Lohi 3 are delivering mind-blowing edge efficiency, making physical AI a reality. Third, tightly governed data harnesses are ensuring these agents are acting on accurate, certified context. And fourth, DePIN is providing the highly resilient, decentralized global compute required to run the whole shebang.
So, I want to leave you with a rather provocative thought as you figure out your own strategy moving forward. Ask yourself, is your business actually ready to successfully merge its human capital with autonomous machine intelligence? Because in this new era, baseline intelligence itself is rapidly becoming a cheap commodity. But execution, how you orchestrate your agents, how you manage your data, and how you deploy on the edge, that is absolutely everything.
Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. If you found this breakdown valuable, I would absolutely love to continue the conversation with you. So please, take the next 10 to 15 seconds right now to just grab your phone, take a quick screenshot, or jot down my contact info from the screen. You can connect with me over on LinkedIn, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel for more content, or you can just shoot me a direct email. I am always eager to connect with folks and explore how we can apply these powerful Agentic Web insights to your specific organization. Seriously, don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.